Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Stitch and Books. My name is Jill and my pronouns are she, her. I am 35 years old. I live in Southern California in the greater LA area by the beach. I am a professional nanny and this is a channel about cross stitching and the books I listen to while stitching. I am so happy you are here today. I feel like I've kind of been in catch-up mode. I have been filming these videos previously and editing them and trying to upload them on a regular schedule. And so I think my timeline is just about matching up to where it's more going to be more actual current updates from when you see them. It's been kind of like blast from the past lately. So really excited to share what I have for you today. I first want to start with some shout outs because I am so thankful that people have watched me and like it enough that they want to talk about it on their Flosstube channels. So to start off with, thank you and shout out to Hannah from Ladybug Stitches. She gave me a wonderful shout out in one of her previous videos and I love her stitching. She has her own, she's a cross stitch stitcher and designer, and I love kind of all the little projects she has. The tray behind her is so cute with all of her designs and finishes. She does these like cubes, which I find very unique. So definitely go give her a watch if you haven't already. The next one that I have to shout out is Kim from the Spartan Stitcher on Instagram, but I'll have her Flosstube name here on the screen for you and linked down below. But she did a lovely shout out for me, and her full coverage pieces, I've never seen someone have quite amazing progress on their full coverage pieces between videos for her, like before and afters. So she's a very prolific stitcher. So go check that out if you like full coverage. Next is Shay, the Salty Stitcher. She is a relatively new floss tuber, and so it was really fun to kind of, you can easily get caught up on her videos, but she shouted me out. It was so wonderful, and I was watching her videos and she talked about kind of a goth, she does have a very goth and witchy vibe to her stitching and aesthetic and everything, but she was talking about being elder emos and kind of a goth witchy like subgroup here on YouTube. And I know I commented on there, be like, I'd like to join too, please. I don't look goth or witchy and I don't stitch a lot of witchy stuff, but I am definitely an elder emo. I was a very moody teenager and I love emo and alternative music, so definitely include me on that one. But I really like her videos. She's doing some finishing and she's getting you caught up on all these SALs. She is like a SAL stitcher. She just uploaded a new one today, and so I was watching that before as I was steaming my projects for today, and so I really go check out her videos because they are really fun to watch. Then we have Milka from Mega Stitches, and she is such a prolific floss tuber. I hope you guys have all have her on your radar because she is definitely someone who posts a lot. She does a lot of updates. She works on a lot of projects. I really like her energy that she brings to her videos and on Instagram, so definitely check that out. Other floss tubers that I want to mention that I've been loving recently has been Katie from Red Stitchery. I am obsessed with all of her projects that she works on, her kits she gets, like how she's able to get all these like score like Destash finds on eBay and in her local community. I know she said she's in Wyoming, so I definitely think geographical area does play into what you're able to score from Destash groups, or at least locally, like thrift stores and craft stores and just all that. But where she's at in Wyoming, that seems to be like a pretty good hotspot for that sort of destash. She got a lot from like someone who is getting rid of like their friend or family members collection, and she scored big. Really jealous of that one, but go check out Katie from Red Stitchery. I've also been loving Sarah, the Northwood Stitcher. Like I just feel like her thriftiness and like sustainable kind of like secondhand focus is very much up my alley. I dream one day of going to Maine, and as weird as this sounds, if you've never watched your videos, this does sound very weird, but Sarah, I would love to just like go to the dump with you and just go through all these, you know, I'm sure it's a lot of digging because thrifting and going through secondhand markets it's a lot of digging for what you want. But you are able to score some amazing finds at your dump and at the Goodwill. I just want to go with you. I've always loved going thrifting with people. I mean, thrifting is, I feel like, is a very social activity. But yeah, so Sarah, the Northwood Stitcher, love it. I love all the trinkets that you're able to find and source. Your craft room is amazing. I know there's so many treasures up there that you probably do spend a lot of time up there. I know I would if I had that size craft room. But so Sarah, the Northwood Stitcher, Katie, Red Stitchery, all the other people that I mentioned. And then I want to go into two predominantly well-known, I feel like, here in the Flosstube community, but I kind of want to give you my take on them, of why they are worth the follow and why they are instant watches whenever they come on. First up is going to be Stephanie and Allison from Cross Stitch the Globe and Allison in the Moment. They're two sisters in Oklahoma. They're doing so much for the cross stitch community, and it's really, they're doing the Lord's work here, man. Like, they put out so many fun Flosstube extras, and they have their Flosstube University series that they put out on Thursdays. But recently, a couple videos back, they did their free summer chart series. And there are some amazing charts that they, like I said, they did the Lord's work. They went through, they scoured the internet, they went through to find and collect all these summer themed cross stitch charts for free. Like, yes, you might have to sign up for email lists or, you know, different avenues to get them, but that is amazing. So special shout out to them. And that video in particular, but every video that they put out is amazing. So please give them a follow. And also, final shout out for today is, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, the Hathaway Stitchers, Erin and Amity. Erin Cozy Town Stitches and Amity Boomerang Stitches. They are amazing for so many different reasons, but I just want to quickly, if I can, quickly tell you why I think, and they were an immediate follow and kind of like must watch Flosstube. It was their Flosstube number 3, and it was a moment, you guys need to go watch it. If you don't watch to the end of their videos, they do kind of have some bloopers at the end. They're sisters, their dynamic, I feel like, is very similar to like kind of like my brother and I's dynamic for siblings in that sense. They make each other laugh a lot, and it's infectious laughter. But in this particular video, they have amazing projects. Their stitching is amazing. Like, I love everything about like their normal floss tubes. But this moment in particular, it was in the bloopers. They were laughing about something. They were trying to do their intro, and they just kept laughing and laughing, but then they finally got it together in a very serious way. And it was Erin who does the normal intro, and she goes, it's funny, I laugh every time. This has been living rent free in my head ever since it came out like months ago. But it was, Erin starts saying like, oh yes, I'm Erin, Amity, we're sisters, and we're called Hathaway because Amity loves Anne Hathaway. And the look, I'm not doing it justice, just go watch. I've already laughed about this like a million times. The look of like shock and horror on Amity's face as she like looks to Erin and is like, what are you talking about? And Erin is the sense of like, you know, older sister, like victory over like joking around with her sister. Oh my God, it was hilarious. That was what made me like an instant follow. And then following up like a couple videos later, Amity's impression of a puffin. Yeah, a puffin. Again, solidified their standing as one of my favorites and funniest Flosstube accounts out there. So if you haven't, go check them out. But I just wanted to give you my reason for liking it. It was very independent of stitching related. They do great stuff for stitching, but like those two moments were my favorite moments. So I want to give a little shout out to all those amazing Flosstubers and Instagram accounts. Everyone needs to go follow, watch if you want. No one needs to do anything. You have full autonomy over what you want to do with your life. So this is just my suggestion for you. Highly recommend. Highly, highly recommend. Quickly, before we get into stitching, I'll give you a little life update because again, I'm very nosy, so I kind of want these like at the beginning, or at least it will be time-stamped so you can know when to skip to if you do not care about my life. Fair. I just like to share because I think it adds a little personal touch to these videos. I've been working a lot. Summer is officially underway, and because I've been working a lot, I have not been going to my stitchy group as much as I would like to. So I do a lot of solo stitching and hanging out at home, talking to kids, because that's primarily my work environment. So I've been working a lot, which is great. Summer's coming up. By the time you see this video, I will have already been on my Mexico trip with my brother and sister-in-law because they were in a wedding, my sister-in-law's brother's wedding in Mexico, and their kids were in the wedding too, but they kind of needed an extra pair of hands. So that was kind of like a work fun trip for me to go help out with my nephew and my niece. And then when this goes live, I will be in the middle of a work trip on the East Coast. I'm excited to go back and have kind of like a Northeast New England summer. I spent a summer in the Hamptons, and it was a different change of pace. I don't know if I necessarily like the Hamptons. I might be over romanticizing it in my head because I remember getting there and I was like, this is very boring. But it's a different vibe. It's a different setting than being on the West Coast. So I am looking forward to kind of have like a New England type summer. So that will be a lot of fun. And what else is going on with my life? Oh, yeah. I finally booked the tickets for my Italian trip. I'm going to Italy at the end of September for my cousin's wedding. She's getting married in the Amalfi Coast, and it's turning out to be like a mother-daughter like 2-week trip, and I'm super excited. So my mom and I are just gonna bop around Italy for 2 weeks, which will be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I finally booked those tickets, and it was like, I have to do a little like zigzag compared to her trip, but we will both meet up for like the important flights. And so that'll be a lot of fun. I'm super excited about that. Ever since then, I've kind of been in a hyped up mood. I'm in a very creative mood lately too. With one of my clients, like the kids and I, like they're very innovative, and so we always are kind of like brainstorming and coming up with like game ideas or like puzzles, or they've been challenging me with chess puzzles. And let me tell you, I've been improving my chess game. Not that I think I can actually play a game of chess, but I think I have been able to figure out some moves when it comes to chess puzzles. You have no clue what I'm talking about. Good for you, because sometimes I enter into these like subgroups of entertainment because of my job, and normal people don't have to go through that, but it is fun. But I've been in a very creative mood. I might like revamp my Etsy like shop or add some new things in there. Again, it's an Etsy shop just for like kids, like stickers and paper products and that. I have grand plans, just haven't been in the mood. So I might do that. I think that's about all life update that I have for you. Summer will be a very busy summer. Different camps here and there that I will do probably a lot of car stitching. So we can go into plans later about that. But yeah, happy summer to all who enjoy the hot weather. I enjoy the weather. The work is a little draining, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And I have Italy in September to look forward to, and everybody's back at school, and I can say bye-bye and have fun with my mom, which I'm super excited and grateful for. Let's get into the stitching. I have 0 finishes for you today. Just the nature of my projects don't lean towards finishes. So let's just get into whips. Nothing nothing has been a new start. I know in my previous video, I was talking about possibly starting something for the Strawberry Moonsal, which was the posh strawberry picnic, which is adorable. But I never finally bought the chart. And I feel like now with everything that's been going on and everything coming up, I just do not have time to like buy a chart, wait for it to get mailed, and like kit that up and then take it on a trip. So we're just gonna unfortunately not join the Strawberry Moonsal, which is fine. Sometimes I feel like I need to or want to join these like SAL stitch alongs and hashtags that like so many amazing people do. It's just sometimes it's not in the cards, and I need to have healthy FOMO about it. Or I guess it's not healthy FOMO. I just need to be okay with missing out. And I am okay with missing out. This is my stitchy journey. I can join if I can or not. So it's a long-winded way to get into the WIP. So first WIP, I have my Sidewalk Cafe by Carolyn Manning. This was for the May SAL. That was one I did join that I've kept up with because it's a really easy project for me. So here's progress on the first one that I have. So you'd think it might be finished, but I have to do, all the other details are in there. I just have to do the final fill in with the very, very light blue that I have. So that will be, I've been kind of saving this and putting this off to the side and working on another one just because it's good car stitching. And like I said, I have a lot of car stitching coming up. So this will probably make an appearance and be finished maybe in my next video, who knows. But I've been working on its duplicate, so just taking this and duplicating it when I have time and I'm with the kids. I think I was working on this when they were playing tennis, and so I was just sitting there while they were hitting the ball around, and I was able to, instead of having my iPad and bringing that out, just do this. So this is stitched on 14 count Aida. This one's prettier to look at. This is stitched on 14 count Aida using all the DMC called for. Just Aida that I got from my local Buy Nothing group. All the details, if I miss anything, is always in the description box. But yeah, I am loving this. Last video you saw 2 finishes, haven't done anything else. My final stats though for the Manning May, my May stitching stats, final May stitching stats. I stitched for over 80 hours in the month of May, and I keep track of hours. I don't keep track of stitches. And 24, I want to say 24 of those hours was on this piece on the Sidewalk Cafe. So that's a large chunk of time. So I'm very happy with that. Here we go. And then this one is just the duplicate. So I have to make this one twice. So I was getting started on that. So there is my Sidewalk Cafe. One plan that I did stick with like religiously, 2nd June 1st came up, that I talked about in my previous video, was Raccoon June. And so I am working on the Raccoon by Cottage Garden Samplings. And this is my best friend stitch. I will be stitching 2 of these, and instead of the church in the bottom, it will be an igloo cooler. The story of the importance of that will be is in my WIP parade, so go check that out. But here's my progress. Oh, I absolutely love this stitch. I want to stitch on it forever. It is stitched on a 40 count Veldt Linen, which means I don't really, it's so weird when I stitch on this and then I like switch to another like 14 count or 28 count piece. My eyes, it takes a while to like adjust to it. So I absolutely love this. So I filled in, all the pink is done. So I came in and filled up all the pink flowers, all the green is done, all the brown stems are done. And I did bring this, I'm starting to do work in the tail. So I'm doing all these little details here, work up the tail and come over to the actual, I have an even spaced raccoon, but look at that. Look at that. Look at those eyes. It's gonna be so cute. I'm so happy with this. It's so cute. I love this piece. I absolutely love it. I want to work on it every day. I don't know. I should. I want to work on it every day, but just look how cute. Look how cute. So cute. Yeah, 40 count Veldt Linen by Picture This Plus, and it is DMC, Weeks Dye Works. I think those are the two. Yeah, those are the only ones. So the Weeks is this pink and a gray that I haven't gotten to yet, graphite. I think this was Charlotte's pink, was the pink. So I'm kind of a rebel when it comes to variegated floss. I don't stitch one cross at a time. I just don't have the time for that unless it calls for it. So you kind of can pick up the variegation in the pink. It just looks like one, but in person you can kind of tell. And I kind of like that effect. I like that it's a more mixed, put together look for me. And I like it. Maybe on other pieces I might do the one stitch at a time variegation, but I like the look of it. It's my stitching and there's no right or wrong way. This piece I'm absolutely loving. It is my Italian Lemons by the designer's Kooler Design Studio, but it was a kit that I got off of a Destash, so I'm using all the kit threads. Those are super crunchy. I talked about it in my last video, timestamped if you want to hear about that. Super crunchy. It lives in this beautiful project bag that I made myself, with just a little zip top. All the floss drop is in here, but it is, here's my progress. Yes, you are looking at it correctly. It's the right way. So here's Italian Lemons. It is being stitched on. I switched out the Aida that it's on, and I found this 32 count vintage Sahara Belfast. Yes, it's Belfast linen just from Zwiegart. Yes, the margins are super, super tight. I will be framing this myself, but look. Okay, I kind of found out that I was off by a stitch. So when I start in the middle, I like to work all the way up to the upper, what is that, right-hand corner, and kind of work myself down so I'm not holding a lot of finished stitches in my hand while I'm working, even though I do roll it up. A lot of information you don't really care to have. But so I made my way up and I was working off of these stitches, and I did all this border, wonderful. I'm kind of filling in all this. This will all be filled in white. And then as I was doing these stitches right over here, there was a white stitch where a light mahogany, a brown is supposed to go. So I think this is all switched over one stitch. I don't know how badly that is going to make this all be, but I don't think it's going to be actually that big of a deal. But I figured, so I did rip it out and just kind of like put the one stitch there where it wasn't supposed to be. And so I have this thread here, this end, because I'm not sure if I want to rip all of this out or see if I can't fudge it somehow. We'll see how that goes. My main goal, my next goal for here is to kind of finish all these little stitches, and then do a white border, like kind of maybe all the way around. So that way I can know that the rest is just white fill in and then back stitching. And then we can make a decision on if I need a frog, everything on the inside that I've done so far. But for right now, I am loving this. I would love to do a like, La Dolce Vita SAL or something like that, right? And the Sweet Life, and in Italian. I would love to do some sort of like summer Italian SAL that would get me to work on this more. I will work on it no matter what, but if anybody kind of wants to do or has any kind of like summer fruit or a lemon chart or anything that kind of speaks to you about like the sweet life, or you know, that Italian philosophy of just a slow life, enjoying the moments. If you have any charts like that that you would love to do this summer, please let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram at Stitch and Books, or leave a comment here if you want to do that. I just think it would be really fun to kind of have like some sort of stitch along for whatever project that you want to do that encompasses that sort of like vibe. So, because this is so fun. I'm loving this stitch, and so I want to stitch on it more, like forever. And sometimes you just need like that extra like hashtag or stitch along, some sort of motivation to get you to do it. So if you want to, let me know. They do sell on Kooler Design Studios. They do have the PDF version of this chart, and they also have another like fun Tuscan window chart that I saw from Katie, who I mentioned earlier from Red Stitchery. She had a finish of that, and that I was like, oh my god, it's beautiful. She did a beautiful job, Katie. That was wonderful. So if you have that chart, but I just, something about this, it's just, I kind of over romanticized Italy for a bit. When I first went there, wasn't my favorite country. I thought it was very run down, and just when I first went there, I was in my very modern, new, fresh, wanting like clean like lines and everything. And since it's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome, like kept going back with work, which was fun and great, and those were great experiences. And Italy kind of began to grow on me, and also like my kind of like aesthetic has changed from like new and modern clean lines to embracing more of a secondhand vintage classic kind of look, right? So instead of living in an apartment that is brand new finishes and clean modern lines, like I will seek out an apartment like the one I have now, which has like crown molding all around it. I get secondhand furniture. So Italy has grown on me in the years. And I don't know, hard to explain, but I absolutely love this piece. I could stare at it like this all the way. I am doing the back stitching as I go because it makes sense for this background, for the background here. And yeah, so if anybody has any ideas, want to do anything, let me know. I'm always down to start it with a project that I have already going. So that is my Italian lemons. Any other information you need to know, it will be listed down below or on the screen. But I think that's it. The final whip I have to share is my Modern Butterfly, and it is by Box and Fox on Etsy. They have a lot of great patterns. I do enjoy all their stuff. I'm seeing more people. I know Erin and Amity, I forget which one, they have a pattern by Box and Fox. I know Rachel from Lemonade Stitching, she got a strawberry pattern off of Box and Fox. And I've just been seeing them kind of pop up more, which makes me so happy because I love their patterns, and they're a lot of fun to stitch. So here is my progress on Modern Butterfly. I did stitch on this when I was finishing my book, which I will talk about at the end of this video, Ink Blood Sister Scribe. I finally finished it this morning. So I was working on this while I was stitching, or I was listening to that while I was stitching on this. But it's so fun, so cute. I think I'm just about done with this like gray-green color on this half of it. So I'm kind of excited to move on to some more colors. But yeah, I love this stitch. This is a lot of fun. This is fun, good 28 count. This is on that loose weave oyster linen that I get from my random linen supplier off of Etsy, which I love. But this was the piece where, when I was talking about with the raccoon, that going from the raccoon to then stitching on this, which these are it's very uneven, but it does work out to be 28 count, like linen base, going from the 40 count, very precise, small, picture this plus like 40 count linen over to this 28 count over to loose weave uneven linen. It kind of messes with your eyes, and I'm like, oh, my stitches don't look that precise, but I love it. It's cute. It's a fun stitch. So I like it. So I worked on that. Those are the only projects that I've worked on. Last video I talked about WIPGO and how it was my it was my floral cart embroidery project that was called, and a new start. I'm just gonna skip this month for that. I don't have the capacity to kind of do anything more than what I'm working on right now, and that's okay. Maybe I'll save that new start for a couple projects that that I would love to do, but maybe shift it till later in the year. When the mood strikes. And I love my embroidery, and I know they're all projects for my mom. No, most of my embroidery are for gifts. I'm having too much fun stitching on the cross stitching that I have. So I don't think I'll get to that, which is fine. So I'm just gonna enjoy stitching on what I have. I really wanna do the lemons. I guess we'll jump into plans right now. Yeah, we'll do plans and then we'll do haul after. So I have a lot of travel coming up, so I want to do some travel stitching. So I will be bringing because it will be the end of the month and then Christmas in July. So I will be gone for that portion. So I will be bringing my Christmas stocking. Want to get a lot of work done on that. So I have 2 Christmas in July plans for right now. It will be my Gardener's Delight heirloom stocking. I'm stitching for my mom, so I will be bringing that, and that will also be the 24th, 25th, and 26th stitching that I will have. So bringing that, and then I'll stitch that for the first half of July. So I will only be bringing 1 Christmas in July piece with me when I travel, and the other piece will be my lavender and lace angel that you saw in my last video. So that will be the second half of July. I know that I really want to focus on my Italian lemons, especially now that I have the flights booked to Italy. Like, it is 100% for sure a go. I really want to put a lot of progress on that piece, so I can either bring it to Italy finished, maybe not fully finished. I definitely wouldn't bring it to Italy fully finished. That's silly. But either bring it close to finish or work on it in Italy to like get the final stitches in Italy. So I really want to make a big push to focus on my Italian lemons. Hence why I want to kind of like have a stitch along like hashtag to go on that. So that kind of keeps me accountable. And then while I will be on vacation, it will be Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe. She is turning 40 in July, and so she has a stitch along that's slated to start July 1st. It's the Hello 40 birthday sal, I do believe. It will be here and link below. And it's basically stitch on any Hello from Liz Matthews pattern. And in that free chart video that Stephanie and Allison did, there was a adorable free chart from Hello from Liz Matthews. And so I think I want to, I think I will kit that up and get the fabric and everything ready to go. It will probably be stitched on this, this linen that I have, because I do have a lot of it. So I'll pull from stash, get the DMC, and I'll start that when I am on the East Coast in New England. So that will be a lot of fun. So I do plan on doing that. What else plans do I have? I know, and this is a Christmas in July. So Amity posted on Boomerang Stitches on Instagram. Amity, she posted like a poll on which Christmas tree pattern that she wants to stitch on. And there was an absolutely gorgeous Christmas tree pattern. And I have been slightly obsessed with that. It's from an Italian designer, and you can get it off of Etsy. The link will be below. I really want to stitch it. I'm in no rush to stitch it. I don't think it'll be in a Christmas in July plan, but oh my gosh, I think I saw it in one of their whip parade. I've seen it before being stitched on. I do believe it was Amity in the whip parade, and that's when I first fell in love with it. So when she mentioned it again, it came across my mind again. And I really want to stitch it. You only can get a paper pattern for it, which is fine. I can always scan that into my computer and work off of the PDF that way. But it ships, because it's a paper pattern, it's shipping from Italy. My little thought and workaround, it coordinated enough, like maybe if I message them on Etsy or some way, somehow, they could either ship it to me when I'm in Italy. So that kind of saves on international shipping. Maybe I'll get it quicker. Really need to explore that option, but I am in love with it. Someone from my stitchy group agreed that she would like it too, so we might be splitting that, which would be so much fun. And I know you're gonna watch this video, so hi. And so that is just gorgeous. I think it would be so much fun. So that's a plan that I'm thinking of, topical a bit. Oh, and the biggest like excitement plan that I have is Dee from Dee's 20 Stitches. They are going to be re-releasing the Stitch for Pride stitch along. And for everybody who missed the boat on that sign up, I think what they are doing with the Stitch for Pride is amazing. The educational component, their charting, like that is phenomenal. I love every little motif that has come out. I think I would do the spot sampler, like I've seen so many people do. So I will be, the day that is released, I will be making that purchase. I think it's just phenomenal. So that is something I probably won't start it until after I get back and I'm kind of like more settled at home and I can make the appropriate like fabric and floss and have fun with those choices. But that will be an immediate purchase when that gets re-released. I'm so excited. Yeah, that pattern is phenomenal. So that will be a plan. It's a future stitch plan. It's a future haul plan. It's a future stitch plan. Who knows when I'll get to it, but I do want to kind of like read up on all the designers or all the artists that Dee has mentioned in that stitch along, and all the history behind it and their charting choices and why they chose to pick that artist and what they chose to design influenced by that artist, if that makes sense. It should, because it's an amazing, phenomenal stitch along. And hopefully you have heard about it from other people. I know Allison, she has been working on that and it's been a lot of fun to see her progress. And they just posted, Allison and Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe, they posted a whip parade. And so she talked about her floss choices and what she chose and the reasons. So go check that out. Those are all the plans that I have for right now. It could change, maybe not, depends on what is. Right now it's the middle of June, depends on what like gets released or is talked about towards the end of the month. So let's go into haul, because technically Stitch for Pride is like a future haul, right? So let's go into current haul. I was on my local Destash group, as I am not local. I was just on one of the Destash Facebook groups, like I am just about every day, stalking, seeing something that comes up. And this lovely, lovely person was selling this piece of 28 count Ren. Do you believe that's a picture of this plus? Ren, look how big this piece is. So what is this, fat quarter, right? 28 count, picture this plus. They were selling it for $15 with shipping. That was an instant buy. Instant buy. Look at this. It's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. She also, I didn't ask if I could include it, so I won't say her name, but she put a little note when I received it. It didn't come with shipping, so which is fine. It was like a little mystery surprise in my mailbox. But she was like, do you put out floss tubes? And if you do, love them. If you don't, ignore this note. And I thought that was like so funny. But so it's weird when things kind of come full circle, when people like, you know, can make that connection on like a platform that I don't post anything about my stitchy journey. But so that was fun. That was a fun little surprise. So this was the score, absolute score, $15. Yes, please, for a fat quarter of specialty hand-dyed fabric. Yeah, I love this. So super excited, got that. And then because I haven't been to my stitchy group, I haven't gone to Pasadena to the craft store, so I don't have any fun vintage haul like I did last video. And my haul, because I'm really satisfied with what I have in stash and for my stitching, projects I'm currently on, haven't been really motivated to buy anything, but I needed a couple things that like were necessary, and one of those were needles. On my Raccoon, I had been using a size 28 as suggested for working on 40 count, size 28, just DMC needle, but I think my pack must have been defective, or maybe this is just how it is. The eye of my needle just felt like I was ripping, like it just felt like it was jagged on the inside, and every time I was pulling the thread, like threading the needle, it just felt as if I was like going through sandpaper and I was gonna rip my threads. And I was on that project, I am using some specialty fancy floss for that, and I didn't want that. So after working on it for as much as I have been this month, I decided to treat myself, and I got some Bowen size 28 needles off of Amazon. They were just the quickest. I wanted it the quickest, so I just got that to try it out. So far I'm liking it. I think it's kind of the same thing though. There is a little tugging, so maybe I accidentally switched the needles, so maybe I'll try another one again to just double check that they are smooth, because that is what I'm looking for in a 28 needle tapestry needle, is for it to be a bit smoother when I'm threading it, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I don't think I'm doing it wrong, but maybe something's off. So I got those needles. Next, because I was already in a needle buying mood, which is a very weird mood to be in. Long story short, I needed new needles. Mine were getting tarnished, and I was already buying these Bowen needles. So I wanted to try some new needles, because I've only ever really stitched with DMC needles or whatever came in a kit, and I just like used that for just about every project before I realized that I needed to start having different size needles for different counts of fabric. I always stalk the Facebook groups when they talk about needles, because people are very passionate about what type of needles they like to stitch with. I can't really tell a difference. But someone was talking about pony black needles, and that sparked my interest, because I've gotten the gold plated DMC needles before, and they still, like, the gold comes off. So I don't know if like I have those fingers that are very finicky and like tarnish really quickly. I ordered the pony black needles from Starlight Stitchery. They're an online needle workshop in the state of Oregon, in Corvallis, rival college town. I ordered floss to go with it, so it would all ship together. And shout out to that store in particular, because they are using sustainable materials when it comes to their shipping. Like this Happy Mail mailer came with a cute sticker, but like right down here it says like this is fully recyclable, so even if it ends up in the environment, let's see here, it will break down into carbon dioxide, water, and biomass, making it easily consumed by bacteria and fungi. Love a company that decides to take a sustainable stance on their shipping materials. And then everything kind of came in this, it's not vellum. This is Vella paper, that's the company, but non-plastic. That to me is wonderful, non-plastic. So love a shop, so shout out to them. Love a shop that does sustainable materials. Inside I got my pony black needles. They are 24 and 26, so I can use them for all my projects. So we will try them out. Little pony black needles. So far, first impressions. I haven't stitched with it yet. I need to. I might go to the park today, sit in the shade, and do some outside stitching, so this will come in handy. And the floss I got with it was for the Endangered Species Club by Steph from Lindy Stitches. They've just released the third pattern, which was the North Atlantic right whale. And so these are the specialty flosses that needed to go with it. Put this one here. So we have Cinnamon Toast by Classic Colorworks. We have Cape Cod, no, that's not Cape Cod. Salt Glaze by Weeks, and 2 King Mackerel from Weeks. So those are for that pattern. But yeah, very pretty. So I got the needles and the floss from Starlight Stitchery. I got the Bowen needles from Amazon, and then I got the wonderful, wonderful fabric from the Destash group with a lovely note. That's all the haul I have. I'm really content with what I have right now, so I don't want to overspend and have too much. I always want to be mindful with my money and my consumption. So that's all I have. Chat books. I have one book for you today that I just finished this morning when I was stitching on my modern butterfly. So it is Ink Blood Sister Scribe. I will say, this was slow for me to get into, but it is a 4-star out of 5, and I'm a very generous star rating. 4 is about as high as it'll go. It's probably like 3.75 if I'm going to be completely honest, but Goodreads, I put it out of 4. I enjoyed the ending of it. I saw kind of where the twist was heading, which it takes a lot for a book to like, to get me, right? It takes, only a few books have really pulled a fast one on me, so I kind of saw where it was going, but it's still a great story, magical realism book. Highly recommend if that's like your genre or like the vibe you like. It was just slow to get into, kind of like understanding the dynamics, but I feel like it's kind of almost like an unofficial, unrelated prequel to the Atlas 6 series by Olivia Blake. I've been putting that 3rd book on a deliver later on my Libby app for like months now, because I'm just not ready for that series to be over, and I want to re-listen to the first 2 books. Love that series. But so Ink Blood Sister Scribe is about these magical books and spells and a library that kind of like that safe keeps or kind of controls or houses the majority of the magical books in existence. And it kind of has like a spooky, dark, twisted vibe with it as well. The history of that library, which is also why it kind of relates to Atlas 6. You should look into that series. And then on the flip side, there's these sisters that kind of grew up with also a magical library, but on a very small scale, like just in their basement, that their dad was curator and docent of and took care of that. And then there's a family drama series, but so it was slow to get into because you're kind of like going through all this drama. But then it like gets really interesting on how the magic works. There's mirrors, there's like, some people are immune to the magic, some people hear it, and it's really good. Highly recommend. The audiobook was great. So yeah, I don't really know how to finish that book other than it was great. It was solid 3.75, but I'll probably round up to 4. So yeah, I really, really, really recommend that book. I'll knock off a couple releases. I really recommend that book because compared to the Atlas 6 series, I really, really, really recommend the Atlas 6 series, but I've kind of given you so many teasers about that, but really look into it. Olivia Blake, those books are really good, so check that out. I also read another one of hers, but everything else, I do believe my Instagram account is all up to date for all the books that I've read with reviews on there. So if I've mentioned anything that you want more information about, go check out my Instagram at Stitch and Books. That has more in-depth reviews for the books that I've lightly mentioned that I've read previously. That's all I have for you today. And I'm so happy that you stumbled upon this video. So happy you made it all the way to the end. It has been a wonderful time chatting with you, recommending other Flosstube accounts to go watch yourself, sharing my WIP progress, my plans that I have. Again, if you want to have any ideas, if you have any ideas for a summer themed, not like, there are summer SALs, but this would be more of like kind of like an Italian or like very hard to describe kind of SAL, if you know what I mean. Let me know, because I would love to have some more accountability to keep me on track with my lemons project, and we can get working on that. But thank you so much again. Stay awesome, be awesome, do kind things, and have a wonderful day. Thanks. Did I do that? Did I do that? Did I do that? I think I did that.